Hey, what's up fam, it's JaKuna from the Odd Frequency team, and today we're going back to the roots, showing you how to make house music like Josh Baker and Chris Stussy. And the track we're gonna build sounds like this. Right, so for this tutorial we're gonna be using exclusively the sample pack from Odd Frequency called Spin. And this sample pack was specifically made to capture the OG, the roots of house music, but with a modern twist. Alright, so as always, I like to start building my tracks with a solid drum kit. So we're gonna be using the kicks from this sample pack. We're gonna drag them to our drum rack right here. And let's look out for a kick that we like. So I think I'm just gonna use this one, but I'm gonna also try to find another one that I like. As you guys can hear, these kicks are really punchy and they try to capture this kind of like vintage TR-909 drum machine, and they sound really good. So I think I'm just gonna use one of these two kicks for now. So now we're going to select a good high quality clap. So in this case, we're gonna use this clap, okay? Let's go now with the open hat. So now this is how the drum kit sounds for now. We're gonna add a double kick over here in this section. I usually like to color them differently so I don't get lost in the arrangement. So I know that this here is a double kick. And this is just a simple kick, clap and open hat pattern, but since the sounds are so good, they already sound really full, but we're gonna keep building up the drum kit. So now here's where the magic begins. If we go to the drum loops and we start testing some top loops, see how much character we can add to just this basic drum loop. I like this one a lot, so we're gonna keep stacking another top loop, so just we keep adding a little bit more fullness to the drums. Three layers of main drums and 2 layers of top loops, you can hear how full the drums sound. Now, just a quick tip, in my opinion, stacking 3 layers of open hat doesn't really make sense, so I'll try to chop out the open hat from these top loops, and for this you can do it in 2 ways. The first one is just by literally deleting this sample like this, and that's it, maybe creating a couple of fades and you're good to go, but you will have to delete every single one of the loop. My quick way of doing it is by using a shaper box, the trim volume section, trigger it by audio, and by having the shaper box, if we press play, we can see the open hat right over here. You have to put the shaper box at 1/4. This is the open hat, so what we can do is literally just create a volume automation here. So we fade the open hat out. Let's see how this sounds. So I moved the shaper box into the group, so I remove both of the open hats at the same time. And this is how it sounds. Okay, and now together with the loop. So we allow this main open hat to be the star of the show. So let's check what this sample pack also offers so we can keep adding more movement. Let's check out, for example, the perk loops. I like this perk loop a lot. Let's keep adding another one, for example. And for the final touch, we're going to add a drum fill so then the cycle repeats beautifully. And then for the final touch, we're gonna use this snare roll over here, maybe like this. Let's see how this sounds. So then if the loop wants to repeat, I'm going to add here an impact, maybe like a crash. Usually you can never go wrong with a crash. So let's look out for a crash. And here's a quick tip for you guys. Sometimes you can find amazing samples inside the built-in kits that you have in here. So for example, kit 1 has a crash that sounds like this. I'm gonna raise up the volume. So then you have a crash, and then the full drum loop sounds like this. Beautiful drum kit built in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, so now it's time for the most important part, the bass line. Okay, so here we have the odd frequency spin presets, and they have amazing bass lines. For example, let's hear this one. You guys need to hear this one. You already know where this comes from, right? So you will get amazing presets with the old school, back to the roots house music, and I love them. So let's just write a quick bass line. So yeah, I'll just scout throughout the presets and I'll let you know when I stop in someone that actually gives me an idea. Got this idea in mind of a bass loop that sounds like this. Okay, so I just finished writing a melody for the bass line that sounds like this. And one tip that I can give you guys, sometimes it's easier to write melodies when you are using the basic stock init preset from Serum. At least for me, that helps me out just to get a melody out of my head faster. Because when you hear a preset, you're also hearing the reverb, the delays and stuff like that. Sometimes that can get on the way of you making the music. So I think writing with the init preset is underrated. You should try it too. Okay, so I found a preset that I really liked and it was called Love Songs. I think it's the first bass preset and it sounds like this. And then once you find a preset that you like, you need to start tweaking up the parameters of the preset so it fits the groove and the vibe that you are looking for. So in this case, I think I might need to extend a couple of notes or maybe play with the release and sustain so we can get the textures that I like. So I'm just gonna do that right now. So right now the bassline sounds really good, really groovy. So let's add a little bit of swing to this one. I'm gonna use the swing MPC 3057. Let's see how this one sounds. So one other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate the bass and the sub, and the only thing that I have to do is just copy this one over here, and here I'm going to add just a clean sine wave. So here's how the sub is now looking, and as you can see, these octave jumps that I added over here, I just kept it neutral, so then we just fill up this low end gap that I'm gonna be adding with the sub, and it sounds like this. You need to use headphones to pick it up. Okay, so now the two layers of bassline sounds like this. So the first layer, I added a little bit of saturation with Black Box and Spectre, and then all I have to do is just cut out the low end of the first layer, and it sounds like this. And then the sub is just a simple sine wave, and then the MIDI was programmed, so we kept it in the lower octave. To be honest, no processing, just a proper sidechain and the correct crossover, and it sounds like this. By itself, it sounds a little bit funky, but if you connect both layers together, it sounds like this. And then with the drum group, beautiful loop that it's really capturing the old school vibe of house music. So now we need to start adding more melodies. We're gonna look out for some synth loops. Okay, so now we're going to add the final touch, which will be a vocal. Maybe I think a vocal loop can be good, but let's see.
Let the bass kick.
Everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Real quick, low and talking, groove stay moving all night long. Flip 'em real quick, low and talking, groove stay moving all night long. Flip 'em real quick, low and talking, groove stay moving all night long.
Okay, so I found this vocal that sounds like this.
Flip 'em real quick, low and talking, groove stay moving all night long.
So I pasted it across the entire track, so here in the transition and the middle of the drop. And for this second half of the drop, I added this ride loop, and I know that I got out of the rules because I used this ride loop from the Hype sample pack, but I really like how it sounded, so I just leave it there. And it sounds like this.
Groove stay moving all night long.
So now that we have the drop ready, I'm just gonna do a build up using the elements that we have and some of the elements on the sample pack. In this case, we would use a lot of like the snare rolls and some effects that we have in the packs, some pads and stuff. And let's see how we can wrap it up. Okay, so after spending some minutes in the build up, I played a little bit with the samples, and this is the idea that I came up with. So I used this pad loop and I pitched it up 4 semitones, and it sounds like this. Then I added this classical synth, or just could be a bass, but in this case I used it with as a synth. This is the preset organ bass Set Me Free, and I saturated or distorted a little bit with this distortion module, and it sounds like this. I also added this full drum loop from the sample pack, and what I did some transient shaping. So I keep it really tight, and then I used this EQ with a weird shape just to fill up some space in the build-up. And other than that, just a couple of effects like this crash that we already had in the drop, this downlifter, another downlifter, and then I did a little cheat over here and I used this downlifter from EXO, which I really like. It's basically a white noise. Then I added the same drum fill that we have on the drop, but I put it here. I added this snare roll from the kit number 1. And here we have the pre-drop vocal.
Flip 'em real quick, low and talking, groove stay moving all night long.
Okay, so after mixing the track for a little bit, this is how the final result sounds.
Groove stay moving all night long.
that's how you can make a banger house track in 2026. Hope you guys learned something from this video and hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to leave down a comment below. I'll be answering all of them. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel so we can grow up this community in YouTube and I can keep uploading more videos to you guys. Before you go, we have a Discord that you guys can join and you can chat with me and many other producers around the globe. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.